Have you ever met somebody and instantly knew that you had connections with that person? Oh, hey there, it's Laurie, Lynnsee, and well, it's not Thursday, it's Friday, but I'm doing my spooky story today because I'm moving office spaces, and I'm not even going to show you what this room looks like. I'm sitting in my bedroom, and there's 4 boxes sitting on my bed. I have a stack of clothes that I need to take care of, but I got too much going on. Anyways, today, moving into my office space, I got up this morning and I said, okay, my spooky story is going to be about my aunt and the house she used to live in and the paranormal things that happen. Now, I always think I'm going to plan it and then something happens because my life is just paranormal. So I'm moving into this new office space and I meet the building manager. Is that what you call him? And not the landlord, but the person who manages the property. And he's handing me my keys and he, we're doing a little chit chat. He's been around this building for decades. He likes to really get to know people. And I think that's fabulous because I'm all about connecting people and getting to know them on a deeper level. And that's what he was trying to do with me. He was trying to figure out who's Laurie Lynnsee and how am I going to connect with her. So within 5 minutes of, he's handing me my keys and I'm starting to move stuff in, he just said, so have you done this? How long have you been in this business? And I said, well, I just started this business, but I started it about a year ago. And before that, I was a teacher. And he goes, oh, where'd you teach? And I said, oh, in Cottage Grove. And he goes, oh my God, you were a teacher in Cottage Grove? And I said, oh yeah, for, decades. I was in that district. I student taught in that district. And he said a name. Do you know so-and-so? And I said, OMG, I student taught with this woman. And he proceeded to tell me the story. He's like, I have not thought about her in years, but all of a sudden, I just felt like this connection with you. And I think it has to do with this teacher. And I'm not going to say her name because she's someone who follows me. And I don't want people to think it's weird, but it's weird. My life is weird. And then he's like, so you used to be a teacher and now you do this. That's interesting. And then all of a sudden he starts talking about, I said, so have you always done property management? And he goes, actually, now catch this. I used to investigate paranormal situations for the U.S. government. What the fuck? I'm like, my whole life is paranormal. And he said paranormal is normal. Have you heard me say that one before? So I'm standing here talking to this man, a retired government researcher on paranormal. And he's just like, okay, I knew the minute I met you that there was paranormal stuff going on around you. He's my new best friend. He is my new best friend. So I told him a few things that were happening to me. He told me a few things, he couldn't tell me a lot, but he said, even now that I'm out of the U.S. government, I'll share some things that have happened since then. And he goes, there's something else paranormal about you. What is it? And I said, well, I do a Thursday. It's Friday today, but on Thursdays, I present a story on TikTok about a paranormal experience. He goes, yeah, I know it. He goes, but there's something else, isn't there? And I said, yeah, my books, I write stories about paranormal things. He goes, oh my God. He's like, I'm picking up all of that on you. He said, I have never brought somebody into this building and had such an extreme, I don't know if you used the word extreme, but he said, I've never met anybody and instantly could read them. He goes, you're woo-woo, aren't you? And I said, yes, I'm very woo-woo. And he goes, I'm not woo-woo, but I have gifts. I can read energies. Well, he is woo-woo. He just is using different language. So that's my spooky story for today. So the new office, the building property manager is an expert in paranormal. So you just watch. I'll probably be interviewing him for a podcast in the near future. You can't make this shit up. I couldn't if I tried. That's my life. And I just have to laugh about it because I don't think that happens to normal people. So I hope you're all having a blessed day in love and light.